Ukraine just pulled off one of the most audacious technological heists of this entire war, and Russia absolutely did not see this coming. A Russian drone designed to hunt Ukrainian soldiers has been captured, reverse-engineered, and is now being mass-produced to strike back at the very forces that created it. This is poetic justice at its finest, and what happens next will leave you stunned. If you support Ukraine in their fight for freedom, smash that subscribe button and hit like so this video reaches more people standing with Ukraine in their defense. Now here's where things get absolutely wild. On January 25, 2026, Czech reporters witnessed something extraordinary near Berun. A beast of a drone tore through the freezing air, performing aerobatics that would make your head spin. But this wasn't just any drone. This machine carries a secret that traces back to a Ukrainian soldier's incredible quick thinking in the Zaporozhye steppes. And what the Czechs discovered inside this captured Russian technology changed everything. Last fall, a Ukrainian soldier from the 102nd Territorial Brigade was driving through contested territory when he spotted something suspicious by the roadside. It was a Russian drone called Prince Vandal of Novgorod, sitting there like a predator waiting for prey. These Russian machines had been terrorizing Ukrainian forces, flying dozens of kilometers behind front lines, landing near roads, and ambushing any vehicle that passed. The soldier was lucky he was in a civilian car. Had he been in an armored vehicle, the drone would have attacked. Instead, he circled wide, cut the thin fiber optic cable controlling it, and captured one of Russia's most effective weapons completely intact. That captured drone ended up on a wall in a small workshop on the outskirts of Prague. A team of young engineers from the Czech company Spark took it apart down to the last screw. They studied every component, analyzed every circuit, and discovered exactly how Russia had been evading Ukraine's electronic warfare systems. The secret was fiber optic communication, making the drone completely immune to jamming. Then they did something brilliant. They built their own version, but better and cheaper. On January 26, 2026, Ukrainian military forces received the first batch of these new Czech FPV drones. They named it Jan Žižka after the legendary Czech Hussite military commander who never lost a battle. The irony is absolutely delicious. While Russia named their drone after a mythical, possibly fictional ruler from the Dark Ages, the Czechs chose a real historical warrior whose tactical genius is still studied today. The specifications of the Jan Žižka drone are remarkable. It uses fiber optic cables up to 25 kilometers long, making electronic warfare completely useless against it. The body is constructed from green fiberglass, with supports printed on 3D printers. The batteries and optical spools are all manufactured in Czechia. Most importantly, the cost is 3 times lower than comparable models on the market. This means Ukraine can field 3 drones for the price of 1. Lesia Kobchuk, the head of the Spark Association, couldn't hide her satisfaction. "We said to ourselves that we would give back to the Russians what they were sending us," she laughed during testing. For 4 years, she has been delivering aid to Ukrainian soldiers on the front lines, and she had often seen the remains of these Russian drones scattered across the battlefield. But those were always unusable wreckage. This intact capture was, in her words, a complete gift from heaven. Within just 2 months, her team designed, tuned, and began mass-producing their own version based on the captured technology. The first batch of 200 units is already heading to the front. At first glance, the Jan Žižka might look awkward and clumsy, but appearances are absolutely deceiving. This machine can carry several kilograms of explosives and can be piloted either through fiber optics or radio, giving operators maximum flexibility in combat situations. The funding behind this operation is equally impressive. The public initiative Darek Pro Putin, which translates to Gift for Putin, made this mass production possible. In October, Czech citizens collected approximately $595,000 in just 48 hours to purchase a Flamingo missile for Ukrainian defenders. Now, a fundraiser for 15 million Czech crowns is in its final stages, which will allow the Spark team to build approximately 500 additional drones. Martin Ondracek from the Gift for Putin initiative explained the choice of name perfectly. Jan Žižka is deeply in our memory. When we think of a military leader, Jan Žižka comes to mind for every Czech, Moravian, and Silesian. The Czech Republic has also launched a national campaign called Charlie 1 to raise funds for interceptor drones for Ukraine, supported by the Chief of the General Staff, Karel Rehka. The message from the Czech people is crystal clear. What makes this story even more significant is the technological cat-and-mouse game it represents. The Russians developed the Prince Vandal drone because traditional radio-controlled drones were being neutralized by Ukrainian electronic warfare. The fiber-optic solution was supposed to give them an unbeatable advantage. They claim they can produce 50,000 of these drones per month, but now that same technology has been turned against them, manufactured cheaper and in a NATO country with robust production capabilities. The Jan Žižka drone represents something larger than just a weapon system. It symbolizes how Ukraine and its allies have adapted throughout this conflict, taking enemy innovations and turning them into tools of resistance. Every time Russia develops a new capability, the response comes faster and more effectively. The Czech volunteers and engineers behind this project have demonstrated that innovation doesn't require massive military budgets. Sometimes it just takes one intact captured drone, a workshop full of determined people, and the funding from ordinary citizens who refuse to stand by while a neighboring nation fights for its survival. Those 200 drones heading to the front right now carry with them the ingenuity of Czech engineers, the bravery of Ukrainian soldiers, and the generosity of thousands of donors who contributed to make this happen. Russia's own technology is about to come screaming back at them, and there's absolutely nothing their electronic warfare can do to stop it.